Sentence processing is generally considered to be an incremental process, but negation seems to present an exception. Our goal in this study is to investigate how negation is processed in informative contexts. To give some background information on this topic, two-step models of negation processing claim that predicate negation is computed only after the meaning of the core proposition has been computed. According to this model, a sentence such as "a robin is not a bird" is mentally represented in a propositional form, with negation represented outside of an embedded affirmative. The meaning and the truth value of the inner proposition is calculated first, and negation is computed in a second step. This two-step process parallels theories of negation in linguistic theories as well. Several ERP studies utilizing N400 component found a negation-blind pattern of N400. When previous studies such as Fischler et al. 1983 compared two negated sentences, they found that N400 was not modulated by the truth value of the sentences. Importantly, true negative sentences such as "a hammer is not a bird" elicited N400 compared with false negatives such as "a robin is not a bird." This indicates that the negation is not integrated into the sentence meaning by the time the critical word for the N400 is encountered. "A hammer is not a bird" is processed as if the negation was not there. The semantic anomaly between hammer and bird elicited N400 in negative sentences. Recent research, however, showed that negation-blind N400 disappears when the use of negation is more meaningful. For instance, Newland and Kuperberg found that N400 was sensitive to the negation-modulated truth value of the sentences. In their study, false sentences such as "with proper equipment, scuba diving is not very safe" elicited N400 compared with true sentences like "with proper equipment, scuba diving is very safe." Based on this, they concluded that the meaning of the sentence, including the negation, is computed incrementally in a pragmatically licensed context. In our study, we wanted to test whether informative use of negation as another way of pragmatic licensing induces incremental processing. Previous research that found a negation-blind N400 used uninformative sentences, because based on the word knowledge only, everyone knows that a robin is a bird or a hammer is not a bird. That might be one reason for the participants to ignore the use of negation in such studies, which might in turn lead to a negation-blind N400 response. To test this, our study used pseudo-words in a novel word learning paradigm. Participants saw a context sentence that includes a pseudo-word, such as "the cook grilled a whole krill after removing its scales." Then, a follow-up test sentence including the same pseudo-word as its subject is presented in three chunks, as in "a krill is not a fish." Participants rated the plausibility of such sentences while their brain responses are measured with EEG. Negation was used informatively in this design because participants had to compute the meaning of negation in order to decide whether the sentences with the novel words are plausible or not. Our results replicated negation-blind N400 pattern even when the negation is used informatively. ERPs to the affirmative sentences show that false sentences elicited N400 compared to true sentences as expected. Crucially, however, in negative sentences, we see this pattern is reversed. Replicating Fischler et al., we found true negatives elicited N400 compared with false negatives, as if the negation was not there, even when the negation is used informatively. Our findings are consistent with the hypothesis that negation is not immediately incorporated into the sentence meaning in the initial temporal stages of processing. Please read our paper by scanning the QR code if you're interested, and come to the poster presentation for more discussion.